Yeah, that looks like a lot of fun. I'm so pumped for that movie now.
Positive that a fireball came out of Ryu.
Well, oh, it's just a few days after my birthday.
Thank you.
Oh, thank you for sharing it with us. That got me excited. Okay, all right, let's do this.
Pleasant afternoon to all you powered puppies that are picturing a perfect plesiosphere out in the universe. This is episode 57 of the Geekoid podcast. You are now tuning into myself, Eric, and my good friend Jared Shaw. And you know what? We don't have a big agenda today, but there are some things that we do want to talk about. We just watched the new trailer for the Street Fighter movie, and holy crap, it looks like a ton of fun.
It went from nothing to something real fast. And everybody said, they were like, you guys need to put out a new trailer that is actually showing something of the story. And boy, howdy, this has a story. No, it's not anything crazy, but there's a story and great homages to the video game.
Yeah. So you mentioned that it has a really strong James Gunn kind of feel to it.
Suicide Squad specifically, R-rated, guns to the wall.
Guns to the wall. What would you say, from the window to the wall?
Instead of balls to the wall, homage to James, guns to the wall with two ends.
Yeah. So that's coming later this year. And, you know, I got to figure out a way
around
to see
my birthday. I thought it was going to be a summer, but it's going to be a fall hit.
October 16th.
That might hurt it. I mean, already, I don't know how many people are going to go see Street Fighter except for me. But it's worth it. I'm now saying it right now. It's worth it. It'll be a cool popcorn munching sight for your eye holes.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to win any awards, but it's going to be a lot of fun if you go see it in theaters. Speaking of theaters, I have tickets to go see Project Hail Mary tomorrow night.
Finally, geez, Pete, Eric, it's only been out forever.
I had given up hope that I would be able to see it in theaters, but not only am I seeing it in theaters, I am seeing it in a brand new, enhanced, extended IMAX. This is premium format. I will let everybody know how amazing it is as soon as I see it. But yeah.
Which, spoiler alert, it's really good.
Yeah. And as someone who's a fan of the book to begin with.
Yeah, they were like, movie-wise, like, yeah, obviously they change things and they alter things. But if you like Spielberg and that style of action, comedy, drama, that kind of thing, like, this is chef's kiss. This is like all cylinders, a style of that beautiful, lovely genre that I love.
Do we have any other movie news?
CinemaCon just went down, and for those folks like myself before, until this podcast, CinemaCon is a event that is only for theater owners, AMCs, and your bigwigs, but also some of your indies, your Alamo's not anymore, but your Flix brew houses and stuff like that. So this is a event only for them, and then a select few people. Yes, some journalists and whatever, but none of the videos can come out unless those Sony's, Universals, Paramounts, WBs, Netflixes, Amazons release those out. But what I can say is Supergirl is just still climbing that hype ladder. It is getting more and more exciting. A lot of these trailers aren't trailers. They're 6-minute clips from the actual movie. So Supergirl got rave reviews. Resident Evil is going to be not based off of the story, which kind of sucks. I was kind of hoping they would go like a Leon route and kind of follow the story. But it's going to go more in, which I think is, which the director of Weapons, he probably helped with this in some way. It's going to go in how you feel as the gamer, like finding the ammo, low ammo, and going through this linear path that puts you on your toes and feeling like you're going to die at every corner, like all the Resident Evil movies. So that's interesting. I think with his pedigree, it'll be like phenomenal. But for game fans, I don't know. Are you going to enjoy seeing a Resident Evil movie that is more based off of the gamer experience compared to the lore? And the lore is, gosh, it's so rich anyway. I'm surprised. But those horror fans are going to love it because it is horrific.
Which is a nice change of pace from the old Resident Evil movies, which are more action-based.
Spider-Man got a good clip too, and everybody came out of it being like, I think it was Holland that said this is the most adult Spider-Man.
It's also the oldest Tom Holland has ever been.
Yeah, they're more like, yeah, sure.
Sorry.
He's in his late 20s, but he's not high school anymore. So this is like post-high school, college. And so it's still following a pretty good clip of their age range to where they are in the story. So I don't think that's a hindrance to it at all. But it is, people said the 6-minute clip that they saw, like really tear-jerky of, you know, this is a time period where he is living so close to those that he loves to still, in a weird way, be around them and protect them. But they don't know him, and they've never known of him in their circle. And he's just watched them date and be merry. And for a lot of people, the way that it was written and shot and directed, it like pulled huge heartstrings. They felt real bad. And I guess cinematography and the direction the director went feels almost indie-esque as far as like, yeah, they saw some of the big bombastic and CG and green screen and all that stuff, but it had a, not an A24 kind of vibe, but it had a much more intimate vibe that really struck a lot of people. So another killer movie that, holy God, do not skimp on this. No more rumors right now of particular Stranger Things females being in the movie and who she might be. So that's kind of poopy. But yeah, those were kind of the big ones that I can think of off the top of my head.
Cool. I do want to call out that thanks to the Super Mario Galaxy movie and Project Hail Mary, the box office had one of its best weekends in quite some time. I think it maybe even a decade. So
yeah, you have to think
theaters
like,
aren't dead.
Theaters are not dead. I think podcasts like ours helps that. I think a new generation that is looking a little bit more analog is helping with that. I also think, again, this year's a really cool year for movies, like in general, and people are hyped and they want to go see them. So COVID did not help at all.
No.
The last 2 generations, I'm a part of that, did not help. Streaming did not help at all, especially my generation. I was like, cool, I can just see it here. Great. I can wait a month. But this is, well, and I'll even add to that, everything going on in the world, we keep talking about finding ways to pause what's going on. And so, things like Dungeon Crawler Carl and how big of a success those books have been in a very short time period have been giving people outlets. People are going back to board games again. Oh, so sad with my 300 some odd collection. Video games are coming back, even though they're being hindered. And movies are, I think, a part of that too. People, it's down in the dumps and you need something. You got $20 and somebody else has $20. Like, that's not unaffordable. Maybe gas to get there is right now. But like, go grab some popcorn and watch this with your friends and a lot of other people, and you all get excited together. Yeah, it's good stuff, man.
Yeah. So stay tuned as the summer unfolds, and we will bring you even more juicy news and tidbits as more trailers and more news continues to drop.
It's been so surprising how much, I don't know if it's a podcast or because of what I just said, but it's been fun to watch the movies and see what's going on. I just had to throw that out there. It really energizes me as well.
Anything of note that you've been watching at home?
We finished Shrinking. That is the most heartfelt last 3 episodes that I could ever imagine. So if you're not watching Shrinking, geez, I wasn't into it at first. I thought it was going to be more comedy and a little less drama. And now that I'm into it with Katie, it's a nice blend of the two things. And seeing Harrison Ford is just so cool to see him also in this role. But I would highly recommend seeing Shrinking a whole lot. Whole lot. Even if you're a single girl, guy, whatever, it's worth it. And some cool little, like, I like movies too that they make you feel good, or if they do make you feel a little whatever, like a little down, like it's also giving you a little message of hope or what to look out for. And Parks and Rec is huge high comedy, but they always had these like messages of being a better person or whatever. I personally dig that kind of thing. Even Indiana Jones, Spielberg, he's kind of also, I talked about him once already. He also has those underlying messages within those. And I dig that. You want to be a better person and make the movie feel like you're okay. You're not a piece of shit.
Yeah. So I don't think that I have anything.
Godzilla.
I think we have the finale coming out tomorrow night.
Yeah, I don't know how they're going to do it. I don't know. I see where it's rolling, and I'm not sure, which makes me excited. I feel like these episodes been coming out slower than anticipated. Like, it feels like we go to Apple TV and there's like 3 episodes for Shrinking, but we're still only the 1 episode of Godzilla. It feels so weird to me. Maybe because they're 30 minutes and Godzilla's like allegedly an hour.
Yeah.
But it feels like a very slow rollout of this series. I haven't watched because we dropped Disney Plus, but Darth Maul has his own series, and if you followed Clone Wars and Rebels and Ahsoka and some of the other stuff, like Darth Maul has become this amazing, fully fleshed out, geez, oh Pete, Siri, character. All right, Do Not Disturb. Oh, it is on Do Not Disturb. You evil, beautiful
Cheeky
lady.
bitch.
Cheeky bitch. But Darth Maul, if you're into sci-fi, Star Wars, a really great story, whether it's animation or not. Darth Maul's great, and you have Disney Plus. Darth Maul, I don't remember what it's called, but that's great. And what's something else on Disney? Oh, Daredevil season 3.
Daredevil Born Again season 2.
2 is doing really well.
Yes.
Season
and
1
it
was
has
kind of
me
like,
it has me considering signing up for Disney Plus again. So
yeah.
The Boys just dropped as well. So episode 3 is out.
This is the final season.
The final
5 years.
season. Yeah. And yeah, it's It's just as crazy as it's ever been, and it's been a ton of fun.
We dropped out somewhere in, it was either the third or the fourth. And it only because it was getting almost too bombastic. And we were like, are you just going for like the freak value of like dicks and faces or, what? Like we're like, what are you guys doing?
It feels like it at times, and Rachel admittedly is like, I don't know if I can keep watching this, but we do. We keep watching.
Yeah. We stopped because we do hear. We stopped and we keep going like, oh, but the story was good. You just got to get through, 3 or 4 episodes of just like
Tons of full
them,
frontal nudity.
yeah,
and
just
people,
them just getting weird AF, and then the story picks up again. And you're like, oh, okay, great.
But yeah, I would recommend checking that out. Any movies coming up this weekend? Like,
trying to think. Supergirl's coming out soon, but that's not this week.
I meant like more coming to home.
While you're searching, I can vamp a little bit. There is a rumor of Marvel moving, even though they had the whole Doomsday, Marvel is now reconsidering that. And I don't know why, because I think more people are hyped for Doomsday than Dune Part 3. But they're considering moving it only a week, like a week previous or a week after. I think a week previous.
A week before, yeah. Just because they don't want to conflict. There's only so many IMAX screens available.
Well, again, we're also talking about like economy and fuel and all this other stuff. People are doing, hey, tax season. Hey, we're a day after. I hope everybody got their extensions in. Yeah, so
I narrowly got mine in.
I think they were also maybe considering that. Like, can you afford $40 in one weekend? Which no. And can you afford to go to 2 movie theaters in a weekend in your 20s? Maybe. Or can you do 20 here? You got a little bit from that paycheck. Oh, new paycheck. And then you can afford the 20 to go, elsewhere. So I think with competition and also with the economy, it's good job, Marvel.
Yeah, appreciated. I think it's a smart move. Some people are saying that maybe they're conceding and saying that Dune is going to have a better launch. I don't know if that's necessarily the case. I think
I
think
so.
Their marketing engine honestly just might be more flexible than Dune's. And I think just Disney has more room to move. So I think they
in
were
my
like,
hot take, Doomsday is going to do really well.
Yeah.
Dune 3 will do good. But
if you like looking at sand for 3 hours, it's your movie.
Yeah, one was, and again, we also, there's a ton of statistics that you can see the first movie either did gangbusters or it did okay. And then everybody got excited for the second one. Or they were already hyped for the first one, and then it slowly goes down. But the third one is always the lowest number in either of the first 2 scenarios. So you've got Dune 3, which also now I think is flowing into like Children of the Dune and whatever, but he's blending, the screenwriter and the director are blending a little bit from the last half of the movie into this one. Either way, it'll be great, everybody. It'll be really great. You should go see it. But will it make as many numbers as 1 and 2? No. And my hot take is I think Doomsday will do really well. People are legit excited to see that a whole lot. They want to see what Marvel is up to.
Do we think it'll break the box office record?
Well, so is that the 1 billion? Are they going to hit the 1 billion?
Well,
because that's Marvel's.
The record's over $1 billion, isn't it?
You get it at $1 billion, and then it's a whole other echelon of the 1 billion plus. Avatar got 1 billion on all 3, but the third one took 6 weeks longer. I think the first one was 1.8 The second one was 1.5. This one made 1.3, but also like took a month and a half longer. But it was enough that we did get notification they are doing 4 and 5, which also means Cameron is like, okay, let's finish this out, I guess.
I mean, he's all in it. He's had plans for all of them since the beginning.
He is, but even I, and we've talked about this, like, he's older and he's like, do I have the energy to do 2 more of these? Like, I like the idea when I said it 20 years ago. Do I like the idea now?
I still think he does. I think he's all in still.
Okay.
He's the guy who has so much conviction, and he knows what he's in for. Like, he's one of the most prolific directors of all time. When he said he was going to make 5 movies, I think he knew exactly what he was signing up for, and I think he's the guy.
Hope so. I hope everybody looked at him and went like, geez, bro. Everybody says 3 because that's what you do. Part 1, part 2, part 3. Chapters are generally, even though they're broken up, the premise of the story is a 1, 2, and 3. George did it literally in a movie. He was like, yay, everybody's having fun. Boo, everybody's in turmoil. 3, yay, everybody's back. So, well, yeah, we'll see, man. I'm thinking, am I excited for an Avatar 4 and 5? Yeah, I am.
I mean, part of me is just curious where they're going to go with it. I mean, obviously there's this huge saga of Jake Sully versus Quaritch, and how is that going to be resolved?
It gets into like generational at this point too. I was kind of thinking like, am I excited to go to 4 and 5 because I remember the first one and going to see it multiple times. I think I saw it with my grandma. I know my grandma went and saw it by herself like 2 or 3 times by herself, which is cool as fuck. I love my grandma. Or is it still, I mean, the stories are legit. You could be a younger generation and still go to these and get the story, and again, kind of Spielbergian, that like a good versus evil, a message out of it, which I really love, with, hope and comedy and, drama. So yeah, are they going to make, I think they have to know, like you watch the numbers, you've seen the stuff over years. I think even they've got to, right? Like they know you're going to get diminishing returns each time. So are these people also like, you know what? We also just want to see these last 2 movies being made. Here's the money. Cameron, just, you know what, bro? Just do it. Because there are some, like, as much as we poo-poo on Hollywood execs and whatever, there are a good number, especially at WB, like, they love movies and they like that creation just as much. They also know they're going to spend a lot of money and hopefully they get a return.
Yeah.
So I think there's enough people backing this at this point.
So speaking of WB, you just set up a perfect segue. There's a number of actors who have come out of the woodwork to sign a petition saying that Skydance Paramount's acquisition of Warner Brothers is not good for the industry. So originally they were saying Netflix acquiring Warner Brothers was bad for the industry. Now they're saying Paramount acquiring Warner Brothers is bad for the industry. I just don't think actors in general are fans of capitalism and the way the capital system works.
I have talked about this, and Netflix was repeatedly questioned on how they were going to affect Warner Brothers after their, acquiring the company. And repeatedly, strongly, by all sides of all the higher ups, they said, we don't have a movie studio. This is our way, not to like muddy it up. We legit don't have it. And so we have the profit. They have a deficit, It's not as bad as the other ones, as some of the other studios that we just mentioned earlier. And they have a crazy IP lineup, like so good. And also, Netflix has repeatedly said some of the best veterans who are alive. So I'm literally saying that because you have some of the oldest professionals in the Hollywood history at WB, not of any other studio, like a huge group of veterans at WB. And to have Netflix acquire that wealth, like George Lucas, Spielbergian, like Scorsese, amount of knowledge and experience. That was what Netflix was shooting for. That turned the table on everybody. They were like, oh, you know what? This is a cool idea.
Now.
Skydance buying Paramount, going into deficit, and then buying Warner Brothers for well over what Warner Brothers is in like I say justifiably, but they paid way over what Netflix was willing to give. So that brings them even more into a deficit. I think every day they're losing $12 million.
Yeah, that tracks.
And you have good veterans in Paramount, and you have huge veterans in WB. So now, how do you do this? I don't know. And we're going to find out, unfortunately. And I hope it's fortunate, but most likely you just paid that amount of money. You have to start slimming down and cutting costs. And some of those cutting costs is going to be to losing those. Now, what's interesting, and my second hot take two, is Netflix will go, you want to come over here? And there's already been 2 rumors of certain execs who already have had talks with Netflix. And Netflix then just either absorbs them into Netflix, and then it becomes like maybe a Netflix studio, or they create their own. I would assume it'd be Netflix studio, but they then create their own thing. So that is fire.
Yeah.
Huge fire. Palisades. Sorry, like roaring Hollywood fire. So
yeah, there's a lot of potential for disruption and defection from that Warner Brothers camp if the acquisition does complete.
Yeah, Gunn is a major one that right now he hasn't said anything, and he is extremely vocal on social media, Twitter, and the like, Instagram. He has not said anything, I think, because he's passionate about Clayface. Got some reveals at CinemaCon. You have Supergirl that I think he's extremely passionate about, and he wants to see really well. So it's almost like Steve Jobs. Like, I have some products, and I want to make sure they go off without a hitch. Like, and if I leave and John takes over, I don't think it's going to be a big deal. But the public might, and then those sales or whatever. And I think for Gunn, this is more, Hollywood is more artistic. It's what me and Erik absolutely love. We can't get to it as much as we wish to. Sad facts. And I think Gunn is legit biting his tongue.
Well, I don't think he wants to shoot himself in the foot when none of this is completely decided. Like, there's still
that is very
to play
true.
out.
That is very true. There could still be a petition or a crazy board change that is like, hey, this is not looking good publicly. No. Yeah, I hate to say this is like a TBD, like, we're going to have to keep following up on this. But this one's so juicy, man. And it's like a champagne bottle that's about to burst, and the dumb guy with the cross-eyed's like, okay, I'm about to do it. And everybody's like, oh no, but he doesn't know when. Nobody knows when he's going to do it. This is kind of like one of those jams. But right now, Paramount's got it. And the future is unpredictable. I would say if this happens, Paramount loses their ass. We're already losing their ass. All the execs that were part of those major IPs, they're gone. They get moved over. I would say a good portion go to Netflix. And we see the end of Warner Brothers, which is nuts. And not even talking about Paramount, Warner Brothers, like one of the staple studios since the beginning of Hollywood.
So we shall see. I don't want to kind of just repeat all the thoughts and kind of rumor ideas that we've had for opinions for the last kind of few months. Any final thoughts before we switch to AI?
There's a few like subtle products. Eric and I talked about them. GoPro announced a new version of GoPro called, what is it, Mach 1 or Machine 1 or whatever. And what GoPro is doing is now they're releasing, I think it's 3 products, and it will have different lens setups. It's not unfamiliar from what they've done before, but they're getting a little bit more advanced, a little bit more camera. Not a lot of specs have come out, but GoPro's usually been a little slow on their software. Their hardware is usually pretty good, but their software has always been a little lackluster compared to DJI and Insta360. And so DJI and Insta360 in that action camera, portable, small gimbal space have usually been more of the innovators, constantly coming up with new stuff. So, look out, do some research on the new GoPro and see what you guys think. I'm a fan of it right now, but we'll see when products are actually out for influencers and journalists to review. I still think if you're looking for any of those products in that category, DJI with their Action Pro 6, I think, is phenomenal. And I personally love the Ace Pro 2. They both compete in such a strong way. One is a little better in other areas than in another, but I like the flip screen. I'm a huge fan of Leica. It's one of the greatest, like lens and camera companies in the world. To have Insta360 have a partnership with Leica as far as the glass and the lenses and some other accoutrements and wide angles and accessories. Like, I'm a huge fan of Insta360's Ace Pro 2 and would love to have one. Speaking of DJI has released the DJI 4, Pocket 4. It is the cutest little gimbal camera that shoots 4K, and it is like spectacular. It's enough that Katie a year or 2 ago was looking at me and like, you want this, right? And I told her no, because of iPhone and whatever. Niet. My big thing is a lot of times you're using this outdoors, and depending on your situation, environment, and whatever, it doesn't matter. But it is a tiny little gimbal camera, which is so amazing. Stick in your pocket, your side pocket, your back pocket, your coat pocket. Like, it's crazy. Fully stabilized, even a great mic. Though now it comes with one of the DJI Mic 3s, I think. Like a phenomenal camera. But I keep imagining I want to do more outdoor, which is if you go to my YouTube channel, those are outdoor. So the dust and the dirt and the rain, like it really kind of freaks me out. If I drop this, it breaks the gimbal. If there's enough dust, it will hinder, not break, but hinder the motor. And if there's rain, I've heard from a lot of content creators, it'll handle, some light rain and then you kind of put it away. But then they grab an action camera. So now I'm taking 2 cameras. Well, shit. If you look at my YouTube videos, I only had the iPhone and I didn't care about rain because it had all that. However, I've learned that if you want to get back home, you're stuck and you need to call somebody and you've used all that battery to film a 4-hour hike. Like maybe you should use another camera and not your iPhone. Right. So I'm really excited about the DJI 4. I think a lot of people should absolutely look at it and consider it. It is phenomenal. And this new upgrade, if you don't have a DJI Pocket, this is absolutely the one to get. But if you are considering the DJI Action Pro 6, whatever, and the Insta360 Ace Pro 2, especially with the Leica accessories and stuff, good God, like that's your camera. Like just go with that.
All right, there you have it. Your camera buying prescription for the year.
Yeah,
or at least until the next major release.
Yeah, DJI has 2 other releases at the end of this month. So in like 2 weeks recording this. So we'll see what those are. They are extremely vague, but one of them is a drone.
Yeah. All right. Are you ready for your mind to be blown and for you to be terrified?
I usually am when it comes to AI. And probably half the audience is too, which is why they also listen to us. So they'd be like, oh shit, this? Oh, good.
Yeah. So today, just a few hours ago, Anthropic released Claude Opus 4.7, their latest high-performance model. But that's not what I want to talk about. I want to talk about something that was announced and unveiled last week, and that is their next-generation model, codenamed Mythos. And so this was leaked, at least the existence of it was leaked when the Claude code kind of source code was put out there. But we have a formal statement from Anthropic talking about the model and the capabilities. It is so good, it basically is as good as the very best security researchers in the world. So when they took this thing and they checked vulnerabilities across a whole slew of systems, they found some vulnerabilities in some really, really ancient codes, 27-year-old code that has been battle tested for decades, and they found brand new vulnerabilities.
Does this correlate with even what Apple did? Apple's like, hey, run it through our stuff. And like this code found, yeah, you've got like, it did give a prop. They were like, hey, good job. But there were like 2 or 3 areas. They were like,
So as part of this, they've created this thing called Project Glasswing. And basically, they are now working with all the major companies in the United States and some abroad as well. To
Apple, Google, and Facebook.
Yeah, to basically
be the first 3.
Patched all the security vulnerabilities that are being found by this latest model, because we can't put this thing out into the wild and then have all these zero-day vulnerabilities show up and break the internet. So good on Anthropic, but also it's a little bit scary that this model is so powerful that it's just finding these vulnerabilities that have existed for years and decades in some cases.
Well, that's the positive side. The negative side is that this same system can also easily lock out any system. It is that smart and that crazy intelligent.
Yeah. So if you thought the current generation of models were good, this is so much better, is basically what we're finding. is performing just off the charts on almost all the benchmarks that current models are being put up against. But here's the thing, it is super expensive. They are charging 10 times, or will be charging 10 times what they currently charge for their models. So
Is this because it's harder for this development cycle?
well, it's the
or they
development is
see
more expensive, but also
because
it's a much larger model. So the training data that goes into it, the training time, I believe this is a 10 trillion parameter model
compared to what was 6?
4.6. The current generation of Opus is, I believe, just like a 1 or a 5 trillion. So either 10 times or twice as big. Like, I think it's 10 times. So that's pretty considerable. So the model itself is bigger. You need bigger hardware to run it. So that is the reason for the increased cost.
How crazy. Working at Anthropic, okay? Eric, you're working at Anthropic. I'm your best friend that gets to pick you up for lunch and then take you back and then pick you up, and we play video games and then get drunk and then we go to our apartments and go home and rinse and repeat. And in the time from 4.6 to 4.7, your team, you're a part of in some way, some small cog of this huge machine, just advanced the system you're hired to work on to this level. What is your thoughts? What are your thoughts?
Are you saying as someone on the inside getting to work on it before it's available to the public, what would your thought process be?
Yeah, was it that hard of a question? Listen, I'm totally going to shit on you right now. Like, yeah, you're a developer for Anthropic, and you were working on 4.5, and then 4.6 is out right now, and then your company, Anthropic, is about to like push out 4.7, and it was 1,000 and did this, and now it's 10,000, and it can do, holy God, this. You as a developer, can you even imagine? Because also, that wasn't a lot of time. 4.6 came out when, Eric?
Just 2 months ago. Yeah, I've said it a number of times on this pod and just in public is that time is compressing. The improvements are happening faster and faster.
They've got to be using AI, right?
Yeah. Like the tools that Anthropic has at their disposal are like at this point they're better.
Just using the AI, and the developer is just feeding the AI more information.
The developers at Anthropic don't write code anymore. It's like that ended a long time ago. So they're using the more advanced tools, and those tools are getting even better. So it's kind of a recursive improvement at Anthropic. And this is not exclusive to Anthropic either. You look at the velocity with which Google is shipping improvements to all sorts of their AI-powered code. And like AI Studio is having updates every few days, along with a number of the Gemini products. And same thing with OpenAI. Like they announced something today. Perplexity announced Personal Computer, which looks absolutely freaking bonkers and cool. All of these major companies are just releasing faster and faster, and us humans can't keep up hardly. So I don't know where we're going to be at the end of the year.
Here's the new question. Is the developer even able to handle the shift? Like, it's 2 months, and I remember when you, little code, was this, and now you're 10 times more?
It's going to become problematic, I think, because the code bases are exploding in size. They're getting more complex. And because AI is writing the majority, if not all the code, how many engineers and architects are going to have a real grasp of how the system works? And yeah, like you can use AI to get a sense of how the systems work, but at what point is it just so far out of control that it can't be worked on or fixed?
Oh, crazy.
You
just made me think like a developer, again, I guess just go back to a developer and within Anthropic, and they go, ask the AI, can you break down your code for me and it breaks down a code that even the team, I don't know, 10 to 100 look at and go, oh, I don't know this at all. Like, not even like that I didn't put it in. Like, it's so advanced that I don't understand the code that's in front of me.
But here's the thing, AI does such a great job summarizing those just mono repos and those mega code bases that you should be able to get a sense for it quickly. So I'm signed up for preview for Codebase wikis from Google, which is an unreleased product, and it's like it does a phenomenal job summarizing your code bases, and you can ask questions of it, and like the speed with which you can jump into a new project that you have no familiarity with and get up to speed is really incredible. So I don't think it's going to be a long-term problem of I don't know. There's a number of factors, and I'm trying to visualize a graph, and I just like the improvements we're having are exponential, but humans cannot grow their comprehension at an exponential rate. So we need to leverage these tools. And I'm wondering if there's a divergence point between the AI and the recursive improvements and our human ability to keep up with it.
Well, we talked about it in a previous episode, which is one of my favorites, where even in 2023, when we weren't talking about this in 2024, where we were like kind of like interested, but not to this scale that now it's global. It's global culture that we talk about AI. And at that point in time, they saw within that style of AI code being able to write itself, rewrite itself, grow like a plant or any organic entity, a human, and learn, adjust, even to the point of feel. And this gets into like Blade Runner shit, which I might not have had a few rum and Dr. Peppers and watched both of them for 4 hours not that long ago. And to go to 4.6 to 4.7 is a 10-time increase. Compare Apple's chip manufacturing with TMNC or TSMC and Samsung and the like is usually 10%. And that's usually average. Even with Samsung stuff with the Samsung Ultras and stuff is usually a 10. If they can get 20, that's great. If they can get above 20, that's like phenomenal as far as hardware and then software to then coalesce with that. But a 10-time leap. And we've seen this, not even this time, though this is pretty great, but we've seen this continuously within the last 2 years. It's getting to the point where like, yeah, do you need developers? No. But when you do need to go figure something out, you're not going to be able to because you weren't a part of it. And my second part, hot take 4, is we are creating good and bad. It's just scary. That's what it is. It's scary because you don't know. But we're creating a new species.
Singularity is upon us.
It's cool, man. I know you want to drop it. You're like, oh, this is so deep. I just want to move on. But listen, man,
it's so
fascinating.
It's fascinating.
I
just don't know what's going to happen, and I'm having a tough time imagining.
Oh, okay. How about having a kid? It's fascinating on one side, and you're like, holy shit, what's going to happen to my life? Like, and it's good and bad when that also happens. Well, like, this will, it causes a change that will be for the lifetime. I guess that's all I'm going to say. There's nothing good or bad about it. Like, you could go on either side of that. It is what it is.
It's change, and it's accelerating, and it's...
I could be positive. Here's my half full. This is a humanity creating not a child, but well, I mean, yeah, but like a new form compared to mommy and daddy, daddy and daddy, mommy and mommy, introvert, like introvert, whatever, like in that style. This is a more global or national. That's my half full. Is like it's a group of people who are creating something. That's kind of cool.
People predominantly in the United States of America. So shout out to us for being the ones to build the cool stuff.
Who are being sued, other than Anthropic. Side note, Meta, Google.
It's America. Everybody sues everybody. Come on.
Their algorithms. Yeah. I think it's cool, man. I think it's neat. Like, instead of the, let's move forward. What's the next thing? I just end it without it being poo-poo. It is neat. It's scary as all be, dude. Skynet and Matrix and What Be and Blade Runner. Like, iRobot. Like, they all showed the positives and negatives. So it's not like these are things that weren't thought about. And then you have
the potential
just
upside is incredibly huge.
Yeah. What that will do for us. We are now in that era. That's so crazy. All the sci-fi stuff, we're now in it. That's why I keep bringing it up. We are now in it. Yeah. And it will be on us and now on the AI to figure that out.
We'll see where we go from here. But you know what? This has been another amazing episode of the Geekoid podcast. My child just arrived home and I need to make some dinner. So for myself, Erik Westland, and my bestie, Jared Shaw.
Jared. Hey, babe. How's it going?
Like, subscribe, give us some upvotes, share with your friends. We want to grow the community and we want to hear from you what you like, what you don't like. How can we make this better for everybody? But mostly us.
Yeah. Yeah, poop on us real hard. Our one comment is that we cuss too much. So we try-ish to not, or if we do, within the context. But we could use more, Is Erik too dry? Am I too boisterous?
Do we need more doom and gloom or more optimism?
I like half full.
Me too. All right. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. And you know what? We'll see you next week, unless, of course, a child decides to show up.
Yeah, let's end it on that, because that's a good one. We've got 5 more minutes. I know your kid's there. But, so Erik's birthday is the 28th? Oh, I did it.
It's also the due date of my daughter.
Yeah, so Erik's birthday is the 28th of April. And potentially, the date. And this is the 16th. So, folks, if there's a little lag, little lull, please understand. Otherwise, you might get 5-minute clips where we just record something and it comes out. And then we record 5 minutes and it comes out. And it might be 5 minutes just updating you on our lives, because this is some important, amazing stuff.
Yeah.
So also, just be ready for fancy free. How's that?
Yeah, just roll with it.
Yeah. You better.
All righty. Thank you, everybody. And we love you. Stay classy.
End of transmission.